Okay, so we are live from Channel Partners, and right now I have a real treat for you guys. 20 years in the business, we have from Airespring, we have the president and the CRO of Airespring. We have Daniel Lonstein. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's getting better now, for sure.
It's getting better, particularly because it's our first live major event in a long time in telecom.
18 months for a lot of people. What's it like to be back?
It's great. I mean, we did have IT Expo in Miami Beach a little earlier this year, but wasn't quite as large, and this has always been, one of our biggest shows. So a lot of people that I've been seeing, as you mentioned, Airespring's been in business 20 years. I've personally been in the business probably another, 15 on top of that, so a long time. But 20 years, we had our 20-year anniversary this year under the Airespring name. As many of you may know, it's a family-owned and operated business. Myself, my brothers run, and we're the operators. We've been doing it a long time. We haven't changed names. We haven't changed management. So there's a lot of longevity associated with that. And of course, with that, we've built up relationships with a lot of people and partners in this industry over those years. And so it's the first time in all those years that I haven't seen these people in such a long time.
For sure.
And you do phone calls and you do web sessions and video, and it's just not the same. And so just coming and being able to speak to people face to face and have meetings, and it's you don't realize how much you miss it till it's taken away from you.
For sure.
That's like everything in life.
Well, Daniel, you spoke about the personal side a bit. From the business side, however, talk about what makes Airespring different from other competitive offers.
So Airespring, we've evolved over the years. Obviously, what we were focused on 20 years ago, 2001, when we got started, was more the traditional long-distance business. We've really evolved over that time. We have a lot of our own network. But where we are today and where I see things moving towards is we do a lot of network services. So we aggregate and resell and offer pretty much certainly every major carrier, including every major cable operator in the US. But also a lot of smaller, I would say regional fiber players now. So our network scope is incredibly large. We have a tool which we've been working on for, I can't remember, somewhere between 16 and 18 years now we've been developing. It's called Quotespring. And it's a tool that any of our partners can log into, put in any address, and immediately get back availability, who's on net, who's not on net, but not just that, get real-time pricing. From there, it's click to order, so they go through a few steps and the order forms are generated. They can email them out to the customer. They can do it via a DocuSign type process as well. So we spend a lot of time building that, and that creates a lot of flexibility for our partners. They can choose a lot of different mix and match of services. However, one of the things we've added this year is international. So as far as I know, we are the only major vendor to offer real-time international pricing. So not only can they put in any address in the US, we now have somewhere close to 200 countries, don't ask me for an exact number, globally, that they can put an address, and we will in real time give them pricing of connectivity, internet access in those countries. So that's really a game changer for us in moving us to this global stage that is part of our next evolution.
And now you mentioned evolution a few times there. In terms of strategy and kind of market shifts and things that have changed over the years, how do you see Airespring as positioned?
Right, so I think connectivity is still one of our core competencies, although now with a global aspect to it as well. We, over the past few years, have really exploded our SD-WAN. So we have 3 SD-WAN solutions. We offer primarily VMware VeloCloud. We offer Fortinet as well as Cisco Meraki. Although, frankly, VMware VeloCloud is by far the largest share for our SD-WAN deployments. And what we did a couple years ago, we added a global private network element to our VeloCloud architecture. So what we did is, in the US, we had what are called VeloCloud gateway sites, like points of presence. We added a whole number of international gateways for VeloCloud, but beyond that, we connected them all with a private global backbone. So one of the interesting things is, when you're running traffic domestically over the public internet, the quality of that internet is pretty good these days. You can run a lot of traffic. You're not going to run into that many issues, particularly if you're using SD-WAN to control some of it. But even with SD-WAN, the minute you start going across continents, let's say US to China as an example, the jitter, latency, and packet loss that you experience on the public internet when you start going on transcontinental circuits, the SD-WAN cannot overcome the deficiencies in the underlying circuit.
Sure.
And so what we've done is we've added this global private network so we can take traffic, let's say, from the US to China, put it on our private backbone, and then egress back to the public internet on either side. So it allows that international portion where you have the most problems to go on a private backbone. So that's a big evolution to our SD-WAN offering.
Okay.
And then the other thing I think where we see a huge opportunity, and we're deploying there as well as in security, we already offer Fortinet, both as an edge-based device and network-based firewall. And I think the big evolution, I'm sure many people have spoken to you about it, is SASE, secure service edge. And so that is going to really, I think, revolutionize over time the industry, security in general. We are, in the first quarter, going to be one of the first vendors offering VMware VeloCloud SASE offerings. So
wow.
that is something we're deploying with our staff starting this month. Internally, will be our first own beta test, so to speak, and starting to deploy that in the first quarter. And I think those three things, connectivity, SD-WAN, and security, is really where we see our focus as we move into the next few years.
As we move into the next few years, certainly groundbreaking stuff. Anything else that you wanted to highlight?
Well, we've been doing this a long time. We know a lot of people in this industry. We're still 100% channel focused, which I think is something unusual out there. We're still a family-run and operated business. We still offer an escalation list to every one of our partners and customers, all the way up to my phone number and email, my brother Avi, who's our CEO, his phone number and email. That's not something you're going to get from certainly any major carrier, and very, very few companies of our size are going to offer that. So I think the differentiator, particularly in an industry where, let's take internet. Well, internet's internet. It's an incredibly commoditized product. Mm-hmm. What is the difference? The difference is the service and support that you can offer. And so we continue to see that our value proposition is not just the products we offer, but the service and support behind it. And that's what's going to differentiate us from the competition. The fact that we can do a better job, the fact that even if when we do make mistakes, you can reach someone, you can escalate, you're not just calling into some random 800 number at a giant call center where you're lucky if you reach anyone of any authority at a certain point. So that's the differentiator. And as we continue to focus on our mid-market enterprise customers, that's the differentiator. That's what they're looking for.
I like it. It's kind of a personal touch. And for more information on Airespring, you guys can always visit airespring.com. I'm going to spell that out for you because it's slightly different than you'd think. A-I-R-E Spring. AIRESPRING.com. Live from Channel Partners. Thank you so much, by the way.
Great.
Great to talk
Thanks
with you.
Thanks for the time. Thanks, guys.
And, take care.